What we have here, amigos, is a section of hindquarter from a true trophy deer, which is to say, from 3.5 years younger. What we like to do is use a section of the hindquarter. So let's do this. And what I like to do is remove all of the sinew and all of the membranes from them. That will make it fry up all the nicer. Similar to what we do with the back straps. But the same procedure is now, see, we'll take away the lining that all sections of deer meat have, like this. And now we'll cut it into Parmigiana, just like many of y'all probably make veal Parmigiana. Here we're cutting the steaks, maybe 1/2 inch, almost 1 inch thick. Again, removing as much membrane as we can, similar to with a backstrap. So now, with these, by the way, these deer were shot by my father, 94 years young, and he is still deer hunting, primarily from ladder stands. But even if this deer might have been 3.5, which is, in my opinion, kind of like borderline trophy, we can render it into a trophy by pounding the meat. Of course, a meat pounder works well, works best, but a regular hammer, especially when you're at a hunting camp, fishing camp, and you can't always find the items that you need, and there's no nearby grocery store, so we pound the chunks of hindquarter to make them thin, just like people pound veal, chunks of veal to make veal Parmesan. We're doing it with venison, with a hammer and with this. We want to smash it down till it's about 1/2 inch thick. And again, remove all the membrane from the side so it won't curl up. In my experience, lime accentuates the flavor of all wild game. I use it on ducks and they're good. So we'll put a little fresh lime juice on the fillets. I call them fillets, but they're really steaks. We season them up with your favorite Creole seasoning, Italian seasoning, whichever one, that's not important. We all have our favorites. And we just let them sit for a couple minutes while we mix up the batter. The batter consists of simple flour and Italian breadcrumbs. About 1/2 and 1/2. That's what I like to use. Just like you're making veal Parmesan at home. And we give the fillets a nice steaks, a nice little coating. Remember, they've already been seasoned a little bit with your favorite type of Creole or Cajun or Italian seasoning. So these are pounded sections of trophy deer hindquarter. Okay, we've got the deer steaks pounded and coated and ready to go in a skillet. So now the next order of business is to make the frying oil, which is not really oils. I like to mix up about equal parts olive oil and butter. Okay, so it seems to me by my temperature gauge that it's about ready. So in we will go with the deer steaks pounded that have been covered in Italian breadcrumbs and flour. And we're gonna let these fry up basically just till they brown on the outside. Ideally, we want them a little bit pink on the inside, as we do with all venison, because as you all know, venison is dry. It doesn't have the fat content of beef. So you like to leave it pink to medium rare on the inside. At least I do. And you see kind of like the blood coming up like that, then it's almost ready to go. When you see it appearing on one side, it's almost time to turn it over. Oh, these are gonna be so good. I can smell them already. Time to take them out. Now, in the very grease, olive oil, butter mixture, we'll go in with the Trinity, right? Onions, celery, green pepper, garlic, and cook this Trinity, which is vital for all of our cooking in South Louisiana. I mean, I don't have to tell you all that. But also what I like to do is put a little more lime on the deer steaks after I take them out. Can't go wrong with a little sprinkling of lime juice on any meat or fish, as I've noticed. We're gonna go in with some regular tomato sauce. Can't have too much garlic, especially for this type of meal. And to kick it up just a little bit of notches, you know, when you're making red sauce, marinara or whatever, a little bit of wine never hurts, does it? And now the next order of business is to simply let this cook down and thicken. That's all we're doing. With the tomato sauce and the Trinity and the wine and the garlic, just let this thicken for a while, 15, 20 minutes or so, to make it nice and good, to let the flavors marry. Okay, friends, we've got the Parmigiana sauce reduced nice. We've been cooking for about 10 minutes. It's reduced nice and thick now. And we've got the steaks ready. And we've toasted the bread with a little butter on it. And that's ready to rumble. So now it's a simple matter of putting the steaks onto the po' boy bread. Now, there's no law against eating the steaks with the marinara sauce or Parmigiana sauce on them as just Bambi Parmigiana. But we're gonna do it po' boy wise today. Pour the red sauce that we made ourselves with the Holy Trinity, tomato sauce, and a dash of white wine. And to make it pretty, and also to make the flavor a little prettier, we're gonna put that Italian cheese on top. We've got the red sauce that we made. We've got the deer steaks that we pounded, covered in Italian breadcrumbs and flour, and fried in butter and olive oil. And now we've got this on top. Bam, as a man says, right? Lots of napkins required. A true trophy, amigos. This is a deer hunting trophy in the most genuine sense of the term. Your dinner guests will appreciate this trophy more than the one that's hanging in their wall. I guarantee you. Thanks a lot.